The objective of this demo will introduce SQL Performance Investigator, the successor of performance analysis. SQL PI is an add-on functionality to the regular Fog-like SQL Server operational monitoring, a single packet that offers both operational database monitoring and SQL workload analytics. The addition of SQL PI provides the ability of a more in-depth analysis of the SQL workload and investigation of the instance activity and resource consumption through the use of its featured SQL performance set, change tracking, execution plan, lock analysis, compare, and reports. The video will also touch on the simple agentless install deployment process and provide a brief metric overview, including new features. SQL PI is simple enough to set up as it's just an available add-on feature to the SQL Server agents, adopting the Fog-like database monitoring agentless functionality. This makes for simple, easily configuring quick, small, or large deployments. No additional credentials are needed to the conventional agent creation setup through the Monitor SQL Server instance agent creation utilities as an add-on feature selection listed under Monitoring extension. Simply check the box for SQL PI, then follow the instructions, selecting the location of the SQL PI repository, and click Apply. After the SQL Server agent is created with the SQL PI add-on, it's identified by a SQL PI indicator under Monitoring in the dashboard. There's also the option to add SQL PI add-on feature to previously existing Fog-like SQL Server agents by selecting the agent for the add-on, Settings, then Access Administration, SQL Performance Investigator. The SQL Performance Investigator administration page allows enabling or disabling SQL PI extension, as well as start or stopping the change tracking collection and configuring sampling type settings once SQL PI is enabled. SQL PI agents are also displayed in a dashboard that only contains the SQL PI agents. With proper resource sizing, it's feasible to have a few hundred instances created displaying in the dashboards, supporting increased scalability. Clicking on the agent name displays a general summary quick view of resources breakdown of the workload data, including system utilization. When drilling into the dashboards and clicking on the SQL Performance tab to view SQL PI related metrics, SQL Performance tab opens the SQL Performance drill down view, displaying performance related in-depth data at a high level only for instances which are configured with the SQL Performance Investigator add-on. SQL PI data granularity via remote frequent collections leaves a small footprint with low overhead on the Monitor SQL Server instance. The dashboard defaults to one of the data displaying weight categories, such as workload, on either the metric history or change tracking tab at the instance view level under the performance tree, which also lists the metric set of collection dimensions for iterative drilling down. Each weight category resource consumption view is broken down by the selected dimension filter and other specific types of performance measurements when selecting the metric to display within this dashboard view. For workload category, overview and blocking history are the specific types of performance measurement metrics. The workload overview charts the selected metric, including the options to add more metrics from the workload table, and analysis tools to compare parameters such as to another instance or dimension. Blocking history displays blocking event states with iterative drill down capabilities. For selected analysis of interest, perhaps investigating a block in T-SQL using one of the analysis tools such as Plan Analysis, which accesses the Executive Plan Explorer, a view presenting the intercepted execution plan of the selected SQL or batch, further uncovering details such as the different operational costs for the transaction. The plan is retrieved from the SQL Server Plan cache. By pressing the Generate Plan button, the execution plan is generated and can be viewed by clicking on Compare Plan. This opens a pop-up with a compression of all available execution plans of the selected statement. Change tracking relies on SQL Server default trace, identifying and investigating database objects, execution plan, and operations system changes, and other categories at both the instance and SQL level. We briefed on performance advantages at the instance level. The SQL level displays performance evaluation on SQL statements from the selected category, which also lists the metric set of collection dimensions for iterative drilling down along with analysis tools. Agents without SQL PI add-on option will not include the feature metric set of drilling dimensions, T-SQL batches, on down to locked objects under the performance tree for both the instance view or SQL statements view. Other accessible weight categories showing specific types of performance measurements consistent with the dimension feature set consists of CPU, I/O, memory, network, and so forth. There is a collection dimension set against each category for depth analysis. This concludes an overview glimpse into SQL PI.